Okay, last video, 7.3. We're now writing the equations for these lines. Very, very good lesson. Of course, like I said, we will show you eventually how to strategically use your answer choices, Desmos, so on and so forth, so you can just visually see it and you don't just get stuck right here. Okay, I'm gonna do only these three problems. I'm scratching out problems 4, number 5. I probably will only give you this one so you can try on your own. So I'm really focusing on these two myself. Okay. First things first, we won't be using point slope form. We will be using slope intercept form. So we're going to be using this guy, y equals mx plus b. This is my buddy for sure. Definitely going to show you next semester how to use your formula chart. But this is the guy that I want. From this guy that I want, we got to see who's already invited to the party, okay? So first things first, let me zoom in so you can see it properly. Looks pretty nice. First things first, I do need to know what information I have. Now, if I read this equation is given. I only need one piece from this equation, which is my slope. My slope from this equation, you should remember it's m, would be 2. So I'm going to make sure I remember, okay, 2 is my slope. I need to make sure that's the slope that I'm using. But because it's perpendicular, this means our negative reciprocal. So before we even use that 2, I need to say, okay, I know slope is my 2. But because it's talking about the negative reciprocal, I do have to do the whole changeable. So I got 2 over 1. This changes around. Negative, because now it's changing to negative, 1 over 2. And I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to scratch this out so I don't worry about it. Using this as my slope. I'll box it up because I am going to use it for later. Next, using my point, 6, 2. If you did your ABCs from A all the way to Z, we should get X, Y. And then we just start solving. Now, what is my final product? Well, this is my first line. My second line is going to be Y equals something, X plus or minus something at the end. So we have 2 blank spaces that I need to fill in once we're done. Here we go. Starting off with my best friend over here, the slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. And then I start substituting very nice and neat. I like to use this border to make sure I know my left and my right side. Who can I replace y with? This is m, this is x, this is y. I can replace y with 2. Who can I replace m with? There's my m right here. I get to use this guy, not this guy, because I want the new perpendicular slope. Negative 1 over 2. And I replace x with 6 because that's what's given. I put this in parentheses because these guys are married right now, and we're about to fix them in just a second. As we can see, B is the only one that wasn't invited to the party, so we're going to get him inside in just a second. What do I do next? Parentheses shows distribution. Negative 1 over 2 times times 6. If you need to use your online calculator, most definitely use it. Hold on, let me change this guy real quick. Alpha y equals, enter. Sorry, I forgot, it's negative 1 over 2. So I'm going to put a negative in the front. Oops, I don't like that guy. Negative alpha y equals, enter, 1 over 2, parentheses, 6. Putting it exactly how it is right there. Check it out, exact same thing. Press enter, I get a negative 3. And put negative 3 right here. Bring down the 2. Bring down the b, because that's what I want to worry about. Got to move this 3 over to the other side. I do that 0 rule. Opposite of a -3 is +3. +3. -3 plus 3 does give me a 0, so that cancels out. Now I got my b, which is now invited to party. 2 plus 3 is 5. I box this up because now I get to use this and this to write my new equation. It's pretty cool. Y equals my m, which is this new slope, -1 over 2x, with my b, which is a +5, so I must put a +5. And that's my answer. Definitely consider doing this next problem on your own. They hooked you up already with the slope. You pause it. I'm going to run through it just so you can get yourself a good sense of rebuild. Let me fold this so I can have a little bit of room. Pause it so you can have a little practice on your own. Going to do it real quick. Don't forget to analyze. That's the most important part. Of course, we're talking about perpendicular. That means I got to change this guy. Then I use this point. Then we start rocking and rolling with the slope intercept form. Replacing y with the guy given. New slope. X given. And we start rocking and rolling. Parentheses. Put this in your calculator, you're going to get 4. Bring down the b. Bring down the -8. How do I get rid of this +4? Running out of room. -4. -4. Running out of room. No worries. 4 minus 4 is 0. -8 minus 4. Definitely use this in your calculator. Read very carefully. But you do get b equals -12. Got 2 boxed in numbers, 2 boxed in answers. Get to write the new equation. Y equals my new slope, 4 over 3. X. Since this is a -12, I just get to write it as -12. And that's it. Again, a lot of great work. Don't freak out just yet. Definitely going to show you some nice shortcuts later on in the future, but give this a try. Definitely pause this right now, analyze it, go through the motions, rewind, do whatever you got to do. Going to give you the slope and the point for this one real quick. We're using this point. So this is going to be 6, 2, x, y. Doing the slope. Going to use the formula real quick. y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. We got -9 minus 3, -1 minus -5, -12. This looks like a 4, I think. Double check it if you must, which gives me a -3 for the first slope. So bring that over here. That's not the slope I want to use. This is the slope I want to use. Boom, boom, boom. Do all the great stuff. Cross this out. Use this info. Boom, boom, boom. Solve. And we're good to go. Definitely pause it. Rewind it. Try my best to make sure it's legible. Again, this was not expected to do the videos from home like this. But we got to do what we got to do. If you have any questions, email me, sramirez4@aldinaisd.org. If you're here at my school, come for tutorials, whatever you got to do, make sure you got this in lockdown. Y'all have a great night.